One of the most beloved characters in one of the most popular Marvel franchise films is Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Fans can't get enough of the tree of few words. Whether full-fledged tree or tiny baby Groot form, he's totally lovable. What if we told you that there are secrets about Groot that have been kept hidden from us? Watch our video to find out. But before you do, don't forget to click the subscribe button to join the CBR notification squad and keep up to date with all our videos. Baby Groot would want you to.
I am Groot.
Groot was originally a villain. As far as monosyllabic sentient tree creatures go, they don't get any more heroic than Groot. Sorry, Ents. But when this wooden giant first lumbered onto the scene in 1960, he was as evil as plants come, save for maybe poison ivy. That stuff's the worst. In fact, Groot was nothing more than your run-of-the-mill monster, looking to terrorize the planet, like Dracula, King Kong, the Blob, or Justin Bieber. Groot was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee and debuted in Tales to Astonish number 13, where he was hailed as the monster from Planet X. Surprisingly verbose for a talking tree, Groot spends much of his time talking about how terrific he is and all the different ways he's going to defy humanity.
I am Groot.
This includes such grandiose plans as conquering a small village and subjecting its townsfolk to experimentation on his homeworld. Fortunately, there's a biologist around to stop him. Putting his college education and girlish name to good use, Leslie Evans quickly breeds super termites overnight to chow Groot to death. In true Groot fashion, he would return over a decade later in Incredible Hulk Annual number 5 to fight the Green Goliath. As expected, Hulk smashes bad guy Groot in the most ridiculous way possible. He's a genius and royalty. Groot belongs to the anthropomorphic tree race known as Flora Colossus. Their home, Planet X, is capital of the branch worlds and led by the Sage Arbor Masters, which bestows advanced photonic knowledge upon its inhabitants. This advanced plant education provides genius levels of intellect to the entire race. However, it's unclear whether this knowledge extends beyond Planet X, but there's a good chance the potted ficus in the corner of your room is smarter than you. For his part, Groot is supposedly a descendant of an ancient ennobled sapline. While he may have been originally labeled a monster, he also goes by His Divine Majesty King Groot the 23rd, Monarch of Planet X, Custodian of the Branch Worlds, Ruler of all the Shades.
I am
That mouthful means he received the finest education from the most gifted Arbor Master tutors, making him super duper smart. Specifically, he has a tremendous grasp of quasi-dimensional superpositional engineering. If you don't get that, you're probably not a tree genius.
I am Groot.
It should be noted that Annihilator's number 1 suggests that Groot is only pretending to be a monarch, and the events of Tales to Astonish fall under his rebellious younger years, though his birthright has yet to be disproved. Either way, he's one smart tree. He's not actually saying, "I am Groot." It might seem like Groot only knows 3 words, but it turns out he actually has a lot to say.
I am Groot.
What? Yeah, you heard that right. Due to his species having stiff, hardened larynxes, all sentences that come out of their mouths sound like "I am Groot." This seemingly makes communicating with Groot a futile task unless you're a talking squirrel or perhaps another talking tree. Though there was that one time Jean Grey telepathically read Groot's inner dialogue, and we all realized it's probably better that we don't have to listen to him drone on because trees are really boring. But as everyone who's fallen in love with the character in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie can attest, words are overrated. Groot can convey a world of thought and feelings through the subtle, nuanced inflections that come from him merely repeating his name. Groot's voiceover actor, Vin Diesel, is able to achieve this thanks to the dedication of the director, James Gunn. James even went so far as to write an alternate version of the entire Guardians of the Galaxy 2 script for just the 2 of them that contains each of Groot's lines in English. How awesome is that? He gives SpiderMan nightmares. After first terrorizing a small village in 1960 and then getting smashed by Hulk in 1976, it only made sense that Groot next show up in the dreams of Peter Parker. During 1997's flashback issue of the sensational Spider-Man, a young Parker, still yet to be bitten by a radioactive spider, gets attacked by the monsters of Marvel Old during a fishing trip with Uncle Ben, and Groot once again rises from the dead. In an odd bit of meta-comicology, Peter has a full collection of early Silver Age Marvel comics when superheroes had yet to capture the public's imagination. During this time, monsters like Gigantus, Blip, and Groot reigned supreme. Because he was young and nerdy, reading stories about giant talking trees gave pre-Spidey nightmares. So when he falls asleep thinking about an upcoming outdoorsy outing with his uncle, it's not long before Groot appears and immediately tries to eat them. Luckily, right before that happens, the Van Doom creature appears to punch a hole right through Groot's splintery face. Eventually, Peter wakes up in sweats, and we all learn the valuable lesson that children can't handle comic books. or huge talking trees for that matter.
I am Groot.
He has a thing for furry animals. Everyone loves the Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's hard to choose a favorite. The main characters are all popular, but there's a special place among fans for two in particular. Rocket Raccoon and Groot are two very different pieces of the perfect team puzzle. Ever wonder why Groot and Rocket Raccoon get along so well? One major reason could be because the giant tree has such a special affection towards small animals.
That's a fake laugh.
But then again, who doesn't? Back on Planet X, squirrel-like beings known as maintenance mammals helped maintain the planet's ecosystem. Most of his fellow sentient saplings considered themselves above these furry creatures, but Groot saw things differently, fondly associating with them and even acting as their protector. In fact, Groot was exiled from his homeworld for killing a fellow tree, or rather ripping its head off in order to defend one of these mammals when it was being brutalized. Perhaps seeing the genetically engineered Rocket, who was subjected to cruel experimentation against his will, reminds Groot of his old furry friends.
We are Groot.
Or maybe he just likes things that sound like Bradley Cooper. Either way, Groot would make for one heck of an animal rights activist mascot. He was a member of S.H.I.E.L.D's Monster Squad. The Guardians of the Galaxy were not the first team of unlikely heroes that Groot was a part of. Following his first few outings being a real jerk and trying to destroy everything in his path, the monster from Planet X finally put his limbs to good use when he was forced to become a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. In 2006's Nick Fury's Howling Commandos, Fury recruits several of Marvel's monsters, including Werewolf, Vampire by Night, Gorilla Man, the Living Mummy, Sasquatch, and Frank, as in Frankenstein, to fight against Merlin the Magician. Why this series didn't make it past 6 issues is beyond us.
I am Groot.
Early on, this frightful S.H.I.E.L.D. squadron captures Groot, still as verbose as ever, and convinces him that fighting magicians is far more fun than scaring people. So Groot reluctantly joins up. As ridiculous as Nick Fury's paranormal containment unit of B-Team monsters was, had it not revived Groot back into comicdom, the character would most likely not have been included in the following year's Annihilation Conquest. Most importantly, he might not have become a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which would have deprived us all of ever seeing Baby Groot. Thank you, Howling Commandos. The universe owes you one. He's been Venom. There are a lot of things that we want to see in Sony's upcoming Venom movie, but probably the coolest and most unlikely event would be if the symbiote were to merge with Groot. What might that look like? Pretty cool, we think. Well, in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy number 22, we got our answer, and it was awesome. Flash Thompson, aka Spider-Man's old high school bully turned war hero turned Agent Venom, has joined up with the Guardians. When the symbiote started causing Flash to do some very weird and violent things, the team separated the two and placed the alien lifeform in confinement. Then Groot sets things off by getting Venom all over himself. In a matter of seconds, Venomy Groot trashes the Guardian ship and sends everyone scrambling for their life.
Yes!
It's not until Drax rips the two apart that everything returns to normal. That is, until the symbiote attaches to Rocket a few moments later. To say the least, the Venom suit has been worn by its fair share of characters. Unfortunately, like Venom bonding with Deadpool or it dressing up as Santa Claus, a Grooted symbiote is one thing we'll probably never get in a Venom movie. Vin Diesel recorded I Am Groot 1,000 times in 15 languages. Vin Diesel is often derided for his stiff acting and overabundance of mumble growls.
I am Groot.
But for our money and yours apparently, he's one of the best things going on big screens right now, thanks in no small part to his spot-on portrayal as Groot. Spot on? What work does Vin really have to do? Sure, he only has one line and does all his work offset behind a microphone while presumably wearing sweatpants, but damn if he doesn't act the heck out of I Am Groot. To achieve such a fine performance, he recorded Groot's indelible catchphrase for the first Guardians of the Galaxy over 1,000 times to get the right intonation for every occasion. Who knew 3 words could have so many different intonations and emotions behind them? In a rare feat, Diesel also dubbed the voice work for his character in nearly every foreign rendition of the film. Diesel performed I Am Groot in at least 15 different languages, including Russian, Mandarin, Spanish, Portuguese, Kazakh, Japanese, German, and French. We wonder if there's some kind of record for saying one line this many times in so many languages. Yo soy Groot. Je suis Groot. Ich bin Groot. Ja es Groot. Can you say them all? Vin Diesel's Baby Groot voice was unedited. Speaking of his deep voice,
I am Groot.
When Vin Diesel did his voice work for Groot on the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, he recorded a majority of his lines on stilts so as to feel more Grooty. Very method actor of him. We wonder if Daniel Day-Lewis would approve. Well, we think he might recommend an actual tree costume, but we won't get into that. During actual filming, Vin was absent, and a stand-in wearing a Groot head for a hat did all the heavy lifting. For Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it looks like the actor tried a different tactic to embody his character. More specifically, talk like a tree baby. Wait, what? Vin making a baby voice? Yes, the famously deep-toned Diesel once again provides all of Groot's dialogue, despite the fact that the character is now an infant and as such speaks like one. In fact, James Gunn has gone on record saying that they did very little electronic audio tweaking to Vin's performance in post-production, because Diesel so perfectly nailed doing a childlike high register. Does Baby Groot seem a little less adorable when you realize it's actually a 49-year-old grown man making those sounds? Not one bit. There's a Groot solo spin-off film in the works. When you've got a character that steals every scene he's in, you're gonna want to put him to work.
We are
No matter if he's talking, walking, dancing, or yelling adorably, Groot is the center of attention. Not surprisingly, it's been confirmed that Groot will appear with the rest of his teammates in Avengers Infinity War. It's also even been awesomely hinted at that he and Hulk will have a few words for one another. We can't wait for that dialogue. More off-kilter, but no less welcomed, is that Vin Diesel and James Gunn have discussed doing a Groot spin-off. Hopefully this means we'll also have sequels, because what's a Marvel movie without sequels?
I am Groot.
While some might be wondering how a hero that only has 3 words in his vocabulary could carry an entire film, there are actually a number of ways a Groot-centric solo movie could work. At the very least, we could imagine one co-starring both him and Rocket Raccoon, which seems to pretty much write itself. They've already received their own animated web series, more than proving the point. Regardless of the details, having recently been a potato head, a life-size action figure, and a Geico spokesperson, one thing is for sure, the world wants more Groot.
When did you learn to do that? Pretty sure the answer is I am Groot.
So, which one of these Groot secrets did you find most surprising? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked our video, don't forget to like and share it, and subscribe to our channel for more fun videos. Thanks for watching!